Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar on the Workers' Opportunity Tax Credit Optimization Program and how we are helping home care agencies improve cash flow with smart technology and federal incentives. I am Mehta, VP of Sales at CareSmartz, and I'm thrilled to be hosting this session with our partners at Rockerbox. Before we dive in, just want to get through a couple of items here. The session is being recorded, and both the recording and slide deck will be shared with all the registrants after the webinar. All attendees are on mute to ensure a smooth experience for everyone, and we will have a dedicated Q&A session at the end, so please feel free to drop your questions in the chat throughout. We will address all of those questions towards the end of the session. And let's look at the agenda. Here is a quick look at what we'll be covering today. We'll start with brief introduction from CareSmartz and Rockerbox, followed by WOTC 101 overview. Then we'll explore the real-world economics of WOTC compliance requirements and how our integration streamlines the process. We will also show you dashboards, compare Rockerbox with traditional providers, and we will end the session with a live Q&A session. I am thrilled to introduce everyone today. I am joined today by an expert panel from Rockerbox. Philip Wentworth, CEO and founder with over 25 years in technology and a decade specializing in tax credit from Rockerbox. And we also have Jeanne, Director of Operations with deep expertise in both payroll and WOTC processing. Do we have Fram with us? Oh, yeah, we do.
I'm here. Hi, Ruby.
Hello. Yeah, so we do have Fram, Client Success Manager, who works closely with agencies to ensure smooth operations, successful WOTC execution, and we are so excited to share these insights with all of you today. I'm starting with the CareSmartz introduction. Just a brief about CareSmartz. CareSmartz, we know home care margins are tight. Agencies are constantly looking for ways to stretch their dollars. That's why our integration with Rockerbox is so impactful. CareSmartz is a complete, comprehensive home care management solution built to streamline operations. And now, with our WOTC integration, you can turn new hires into tax credit opportunities right inside the platform. Rockerbox brings unmatched expertise in WOTC optimization. Their team handles all the heavy lifting. We're going to talk about it today during the presentation. And they help you identify eligible hires, manage filing, and maximize the credits you are entitled to. So together, CareSmartz and Rockerbox, we are bringing this financial efficiency and operational simplicity under one roof, all from within CareSmartz. And now I would like to hand it over to my friend Philip, who's going to talk about Rockerbox.
Ruby, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. It's great to be here. Ruby, I'm so glad you talked about the constraints, the financial constraints that are put upon most home health agency owners today. Rockerbox has been in this space for the better part of 3 years. We service today between 850 and 900 home health agencies from almost every state in the United States, and we are seeing those financial pressures. Our goal with this webinar today is to help you become less pressure and to alleviate some of that pressure as it relates to the economics of running your home health agency. Our goal when we say we want to optimize WOTC is we want to improve your cash flow. That's the goal. So what we've done is we've worked with CareSmartz over the last 6-7 months to create a really tight, seamless integration into the CareSmartz360 platform so that we can do just that. And it shouldn't take a huge amount of heavy lifting from any agency that wants to leverage our WOTC optimization through the CareSmartz360 platform. But I did want to just touch base on that, Ruby. It's a great segue. You don't hire Rockerbox unless we're able to improve your cash flow. That's the goal. So we did want to start, just going back to the agenda, we did want to start at the very beginning. We call this Hello WOTC, WOTC 101. When we refer to WOTC, we're really referring to the Work Opportunity Tax Credit Program. WOTC's been around a long time, since 1996. It was first introduced way back in 1978. And then President Clinton kind of reformatted the program in 1996 and called it the Work Opportunity Tax Credit Program. The entire purpose and intent of WOTC is to give the employer, the home health agency owner, a financial incentive in the form of a tax credit for hiring historically disadvantaged individuals. So the reason we get hired at Rockerbox is we screen all of your new caregivers, all of your new employees to determine if they fall into one of the 9 WOTC target groups. Now we can screen those folks at the application. We can screen those folks, those new caregivers, during the onboarding. We'll get into the integration here in just a little bit, but we've decided to integrate into the onboarding process within CareSmartz360. The WOTC program is extended through the end of this year. We do keep tabs regularly on what Congress is deciding to do as far as extending it. Right now, there are 5 separate pieces of legislation that have been written that call for WOTC to be extended another 5 years or be made permanent. So we will keep everybody abreast on where Congress is leading towards, whether it's going to be another 5-year extension or if it's made permanent. So we'll keep you guys posted on that. So as I mentioned, the real reason people hire Rockerbox is we are going to, through CareSmartz360, we are going to screen all of your new caregivers to determine if they fall into one of these 9 target groups. So there's a list of target groups off to the left, and then off to the right, you'll see the maximum allowable credit for each target group. If you're hiring any sort of volume of caregivers in a given year, these credits can accumulate really quickly. This can be incredibly lucrative for the average home health agency owner. Unfortunately, we've recognized in our almost 900 home health agency clients, there's a lot of turnover. There's a lot of turnover in this industry, and that's not good or bad. It's just a fact. And so if you're experiencing high levels of turnover and you're going to go out there and make a hiring decision, why not screen these folks that you're going to hire anyway for tax credit eligibility? These folks can earn you credits and they can improve your cash flow overnight. So a little bit more about WOTC. We like to call it a little nuanced. It's a very nuanced program. It's a federal tax credit. It's governed by the Department of Labor and the IRS. But in what we've seen in our client base is 20 to 25% of your new hires are going to be eligible for this program. The average tax credit in many industries that we service is $2,100. You'll notice that that's far below some of these averages over here. And the reason is some of the caregivers don't stay on payroll long enough to maximize the credit. We do hear from a lot of home health agency owners that are new to WOTC that, hey, I don't hire these people. I've looked at the target groups, Philip, and I just don't hire unemployed veterans or SNAP recipients or long-term unemployed. And we're here to tell you that you probably do. We hear that a lot, that, hey, we don't hire these folks. And the reason that most employers don't know that is because they're not asking these questions. At no point in your current onboarding are you asking a new caregiver if they're a SNAP recipient, or if they're an unemployed veteran, or if they're a supplemental security income recipient, or if they live in an empowerment zone. And so our screening questionnaire does that for you So we're able to identify if someone is sitting in one of those 9 target groups. And an interesting stat to throw out, we estimate that over 50 million Americans could potentially qualify for WOTC in 2025. If all of those 50 million Americans were screened appropriately for WOTC eligibility, that could be over $9 trillion in tax credits. So guys, this is a huge opportunity for any employer, but also more importantly for those that are in home health. What we've seen our home health agency owners do is they've leveraged the program to, number one, improve their cash flow, but it also gives them higher margins when it comes to some of these financial pressures that Ruby and I were talking about previously. Number one, you can identify additional employee pools. We've got a home health agency that's outside of El Paso. It's right outside of a huge joint military base. And they give home health opportunities to not only soldiers that are transitioning out of the military, but also their spouses. And they're giving them sign-on bonuses to do. And so it's just a really great way for this home health agency owner to get in and say, hey, you know what? I've never gone after soldiers transitioning out of the military before. And I've never specifically recruited for military spouses, but the WOTC program has given them an opportunity to identify additional and new employee pools. Some of the home health agency owners that we work with are eliminating the cost of onboarding with the WOTC tax credits. That means that they can offset the cost of background checks, drug screens, if there's any credentialing that's involved with the caregiver that they're hiring. They can reduce the cost of recruitment, job board postings, SaaS providers. There's a lot that the WOTC credits can do as far as improving margins. And the other thing is when we get optimized, we're going to show you how to retain that caregiver once they are hired. And what that does is what we see over time is the WOTC eligible caregivers are typically the ones that are being retained the longest. And that can lead to loyalty. But again, guys, the whole goal here, you determine how you want to use the cash flow improvement. We're just giving you some ideas on how some of our current clients have leveraged it. Our goal is to optimize your program through CareSmartz360 so that we can improve your cash flow up to 40%. Now, getting into some of the economics associated with WOTC, I hate to give people, some profit loss statements here in a webinar, but home health really reminds us of our staffing clients because the caregiver is the profit center. If you don't have caregivers, you can't deploy them to the client. And if you don't have a caregiver and they're not at the client site, then they're not going to earn you money. And so we really look at our home health agency clients similar to our staffing firms in that the profitability impact as it relates to your overhead is out of control when you talk about WOTC eligibility and those employees. So if you look at a caregiver and you look at a non-WOTC eligible employee, you're basically making about $300 after you onboard them and after taxes.
And then
if that caregiver, that same caregiver is screened for WOTC eligibility and they're able to maximize the credit, they are 5 times more profitable to you than a non-WOTC caregiver. And so we just want that to sink in. I'm never going to tell you, I used to be in staffing, I used to run a staffing firm.
And for those
I'm never
of you
going to
that
tell
have
an
been
agency
in
owner to just go after WOTC eligible caregivers.
You know what I'm talking about when I say this.
That's not how you're going to have a successful team, and it's not how you're going to best serve your clients. But if you hire a caregiver that's WOTC eligible, let's do everything we can in our power to retain that caregiver so long as they maximize the credit on your behalf. And if we do that, that caregiver is going to be 5 times more profitable than a caregiver that is not WOTC eligible. So again, going back into the nuances of WOTC, The employer must be paying federal income taxes. I would assume that everybody on the call is a for-profit. If you are a nonprofit, that's okay. You can still participate in the program. The credits that we earn you can be applied towards your payroll tax. Okay, so if you're a for-profit, the credits that we accumulate for you and capture on your behalf can be used to offset your federal income tax liabilities. Okay, so both for-profit and nonprofit can participate. The caregiver must be a W-2. So 1099s and contractors are not eligible for WOTC. The caregiver must be an absolute brand new hire to your agency. So if you hired John in 2020 and he left because of the pandemic and he comes back in 2025, John would not be eligible to earn you credits in 2025. There is absolutely no limit to the amount of new hires eligible for WOTC. So if you hire 100 caregivers in a given year and 99 are eligible for WOTC, there's no ceiling. There's no limit to how many folks can qualify for this. Mentioned before, but the credits again are an offset to your federal income tax liabilities. Most of our clients, I would say 95%, are filing the credits on their annual corporate filing. We do have about 5% of our clients that are filing for the credits on a quarterly basis. You choose what's right for your business, and we will provide all the documentation for you to file either annually or quarterly. The great news about this credit, if you're running net operating losses, we have some folks in the trucking industry that are running NOLs or net operating losses. If you don't have enough income in a given year to take the credit, you can carry the credits up to 20 years. So you can carry them forward. And if you're an S Corp, this is great. The credits flow through the K1 to every shareholder and owner on the K1. So it's a beautiful program. Again, just going into some of the finer points and some of the nuances of the program, we as a provider have 28 days to file the paperwork with the appropriate government agency from the time in which your caregiver starts. So that's why we have such a tight integration with CareSmartz360. We want your caregiver to fill out our questionnaire and determine if they fit into one of those 9 target groups the first day that they start their job, if not before. And we'll show you exactly how automated and seamless that is through CareSmartz360. But every state has a workforce agency. We file the paperwork with your respective state workforce agency, and that is the government agency that will render us a decision. They'll let us know if that person is certified, if they need additional information, or if it's been denied. So as soon as we get the certification, we're going to look at your payroll, and we're going to look at the payroll for a couple of things, but one is to look at the hours worked and also their pay rate. And that's going to determine the credits that they capture on your behalf once they've been certified by the state. So I don't want to give you guys too much math today, but as soon as the state workforce agency comes back and says, John's certified, John has to work at least 120 hours before they will earn you $1 in credit. So if John is certified and John works 110 hours, John's not going to earn you $1 in credit. John has to work at least 120 hours before they start accruing credits for you. The good news is, as soon as John crosses 120 hours, we get to go all the way back to hour 1 and accumulate credits between hour 1 and 120. So it's almost like a slot machine, but we just have to make sure that any caregiver that you guys are hiring, if they're WOTC certified, they have to work 120 hours before they will earn you $1 in credit. And I'm sure we'll get some questions about that later in the Q&A. But again, guys, that kind of completes the nuances of WOTC. I know that's a lot of information. I just want to drive home a couple of things. We're here to help. We have a seamless integration. This shouldn't be a heavy lift. The end result is we want to improve cash flow, and we use communication tools and reporting that we'll showcase a little bit later on where your WOTC eligible labor pool sits. So when we talk about the integration with CareSmartz360, we call it a screening integration. What we're trying to do is serve our electronic questionnaire, give all of your new caregivers access to our WOTC questionnaire through CareSmartz360. So as soon as you make a hiring decision and as soon as they're onboarded, they're going to get access to our WOTC screening tool through CareSmartz360. So the only thing that we ask our agency owners to help us with is that blue number 1 right in the beginning is screen. Basically what we're looking at is to have a very healthy screening percentage. And what that means is if you start 10 caregivers in a given month, we want to make sure that we've got 10 completed WOTC questionnaires. So that screening percentage would be 100% or 1-to-1. Most of our home health agencies are operating between 85 and 90%. And the reason that is sometimes you guys will make a hiring decision. You'd want that caregiver to start, and then sometimes they ghost, sometimes they find another job, sometimes they fall off. But if you help us with number 1, just making sure that your new caregivers are completing our WOTC screening questionnaire within CareSmartz360, your job and the caregiver's job is over. Steps 2 through 7, that's all Rockerbox. So as soon as that caregiver hits complete and they're done with the WOTC questionnaire through CareSmartz360, our team takes the ball and we start running with it. We're going to verify it. We're going to make sure we've got payroll data. We're going to file the appropriate documentation with the appropriate government agencies behind the scenes on your behalf. We're going to work with the state workforce agencies in an attempt to certify that person for WOTC. And then the fun starts. Then we get to capture credits for you. And then we're going to give you all the documents you need to file the credits on your annual or quarterly filings. So that's a lot of stuff that we do behind the scenes between steps 2 and 7. But the only thing we need your help with is just to make sure every new caregiver has a completed WOTC screening questionnaire. So the integration between Rockerbox and CareSmartz360 should be important to you because this eliminates any manual processing. There's no forms to fill out. You don't have to send us or mail us forms. Everything is automated through the CareSmartz360 platform. And so what we want to do is we want to decrease the manual interventions. We want to reduce paperwork. We want to see that the screening percentages go through the roof. That's usually 85% or above. And again, we cannot mention this enough. If we do all these things together, we're going to increase cash flow up to 40%. So we're going to talk about the seamless API connection. We're going to talk about the WOTC screening questionnaire automatically being provided to new caregivers. We're going to talk about how our screening questionnaire receives all of the demographic information from your caregivers that pre-populates into our questionnaire. And then over time, CareSmartz360 and Rockerbox are going to automate the payroll data. So you guys won't have to send us manual payroll reports. So this is really just designed to be 100% seamless. We're eliminating 100% of the manual interventions. And again, the goal is to increase cash flow up to 40%. So guys, this is what the questionnaire looks like. CareSmartz360 did a phenomenal job, in my opinion, of taking our questionnaire, which you see right here, and actually including it in the CareSmartz360 platform as an iframe. So when you make a hiring decision and you're ready to onboard that caregiver, as soon as they complete some simple onboarding task within CareSmartz360, they are pushed directly into this questionnaire. They don't have to leave CareSmartz360. There's no links. They're taken directly to our questionnaire inside their instance of CareSmartz360. So this is really cool. And by the way, we use the Rockerbox logo for this example. Every version of our questionnaire is branded with our client's logo. So where the Rockerbox logo is on this particular example of our questionnaire, just imagine your own logo. And what that does is it just breeds familiarity. The caregiver thinks that they're still in CareSmartz, which they are, and they see your logo, so they know that they're in the right place. So this is the first part of our questionnaire. We have tried to gamify this. At the top upper left, you'll see a bunch of icons. And so what we've tried to do is make this as simple as possible for two reasons. Number one, we don't want people answering a lot of questions. Number two, we know that 99% of these folks are going to be hitting this questionnaire using a mobile device. So this type of icon and this type of framework makes it really easy for the caregiver to use their thumbs on their phone, quickly get into our questionnaire, answer the appropriate questions, and then get on with their life. So the top left quarter panel there shows the first page of our questionnaire. The far right, where it says digital signature, that's the last page of our questionnaire. We wanted to show you that to let you know that we are compliant with the Department of Labor and the IRS requirements as it relates to capturing and using this information to certify folks for WOTC. So this is our attestation page. Caregivers can come in and sign electronically, and as soon as they hit submit, they're taken to the bottom left where it says great. That's our confirmation page. And each caregiver that successfully submits a completed questionnaire is going to be taken to that confirmation page, and they're going to get a 9-digit unique confirmation code. Now, a really cool, I guess, best practice that we instituted with a lot of our home health agency owners is a lot of our clients that are in home health are bringing these caregivers in for an on-site orientation. It's very unique and it's very beneficial to WOTC. What we've asked our home health agency owners to do is to ask the caregiver to complete the WOTC questionnaire while they're in orientation and actually give them on a piece of paper the 9-digit confirmation code, just so that the person leading the orientation knows for certain that that new caregiver has completed the WOTC questionnaire. We're not telling you that you have to do that. It's just a best practice that we've seen our home health agencies institute to try to improve screening percentages. So above and beyond what's in CareSmartz360, there's reporting here. We want to constantly communicate with all of our clients around WOTC eligible labor pools, who's certified, who's not certified, and the most fun part is communicating around how many credits have been accumulated month over month. So you're going to have access to a lot of this information through the dashboards in CareSmartz360, but you're also going to get that information from us. And you're going to get it from us every week in an email. We send out 5 reports every week. They're very small. They're very specific on one topic per report. And then there's some actionable items associated with each report that you receive from us. So inside CareSmartz360, this is a view of your caregivers. And we've bubbled out the names and most of the important information associated with each caregiver, but we did want to highlight one column, which is the WOTC status. You could go inside CareSmartz360 at any time, and you could look at a caregiver's WOTC status, and you'll see eligible or not eligible. It's a green light, red light. So at any time, you could come in and just look really quickly to see who's eligible for WOTC, who's about to earn you credits, and who's not eligible. So it's a really quick way for you to determine where your WOTC labor pool is sitting. The other great thing is if you go into the caregiver profile, again, we've bubbled out a lot of the sensitive information. You can find their WOTC status at the bottom of their profile page as well. Right there, highlighted in red, it says WOTC status, eligible. We love this. CareSmartz did a great job implementing this type of feature. I'm never going to tell an agency owner to retain WOTC eligible caregivers only. But again, these folks have to work at least 120 hours. So for this example, let's say John, he reached 115 hours. It'd be nice to know that he is so close to earning credits for the agency. And so if he's eligible and he's that close to earning credits, you can come to his profile and pick up on that information instantaneously. And my point is, then you can decide if you can deploy John again next week so that he can work at least 120 hours to earn you credits. So these are the reports that we send you guys. These look a little convoluted. There's a lot of colors going on, but every day, Monday through Friday, you're going to get one of these reports in your email. It's going to show you, for example, one of them is screening percentage. Going back to the definition before, screening percentage is basically the number of new caregivers started versus the number of completed WOTC questionnaires. So we always want screening percentage to be at least 85% or more. And so we're going to send you one report on Monday called screening percentage, and it's going to show you what your screening percentage is for the week prior. And again, we always want that to be at least 85% or more. And so each day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you're going to receive another singular report from us. And below that report, you're going to see some action items. So let's go back to screening percentage on Monday. If your screening percentage is 60%, our report at the bottom is going to tell you some best practices on how you might be able to improve screening percentage. So each day you're going to get reports from us in your email. You can share them with branch managers. You can share them with ownership. But it's designed to be digestible, and it's designed to be actionable. So for every new client, if you're interested in working with Rockerbox and turning on our integration into CareSmartz360 after this webinar, we can't wait. We just wanted to quickly identify the process by which we onboard every new client. First is a discovery call. We appreciate you guys coming today and learning about Rockerbox. We're going through this program at a very high level. So the discovery call usually lasts about 20 to 30 minutes, and it just gives us an opportunity to meet you, to understand what types of caregivers you're hiring, the types of volumes you're hiring, and it also gives us an opportunity to tell you a little bit more about the program. Once we have a discovery call, you get to tell us if you want to work with us or not. A lot of times people say yes, sometimes they say no. If you want to move forward with us, we've got some documents for you to sign. And then we move in, once those documents are signed, we move into the kickoff call. Kickoff calls are pretty short, 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of times we meet in the discovery call with the agency owner. By the time they sign the documents and they're ready to go, we're at the kickoff call, and they've deputized a person on their staff to actually be our main point of contact. So the kickoff call allows us to level set with the owner again before we go live, but it also allows us to level set with the person that has been kind of assigned to the WOTC process internally. Again, the kickoff call doesn't take a lot of time. It's a level set meeting right before we hit live with CareSmartz360 and we start screening your new caregivers. About 6 to 8 weeks after the kickoff call, we're going to host our first progress call with you. These can last 5 to 10 minutes. We just want to make sure we're available to answer any questions you might have about screening percentage, credits captured, additional information. But we also want to make sure that we're level setting with you one more time and giving you the best practices and reinforcing those so that your program can be optimized. Just to let you know, we do host progress calls with every client about every 6 to 8 weeks after that. Most clients are telling us, hey, Philip, we're good to go. We've had 5 or 6 progress calls. We'll call you if you need anything. And that's great. You can graduate from the progress call at any time. And then just want to let you guys know that Ruby and her team at CareSmartz360 and Rockerbox are going to be meeting every month to discuss the partnership, the integration, the technology. We're going to be using feedback that we've captured during our progress calls, and we're going to be modifying the integrations to make it even better moving forward. But I wanted you guys to know that this isn't a one and done scenario. Rockerbox and CareSmartz360 are joined at the hip, and we're going to be meeting every month to talk about the progress and the success of this relationship. So again, when we talk about no heavy lifting, no call centers, we really try to make this as easy as possible for the agency owner. You've got 4 responsibilities. One of them takes some manual effort today. Hopefully in the future, through our integration with CareSmartz360, it will be automated. But the only thing we really need you to do is provide payroll reports to us. If we don't have access to payroll data, we can't certify credits for you, and we can't capture credits for you. So payroll information is vital for WOTC optimization. The other thing that we'd like your help with is just managing a healthy screening percentage. In home health, 85% or better is ideal. We do have a bunch of agencies right now that are operating between like 98, 99, and 100%. That's fantastic. So the more people you screen, the better opportunity you have to earn credits. And then 3 and 4 are just really easy. 15, 20 minutes of your time, attend the kickoff call, attend progress calls, and then reach out if you have any questions. One of the things we wanted to share with you guys is a formula to estimate annual credits. We get this question a lot. You can do it at home. You look at the number of new caregivers you're hiring in a given month or a given year. We would estimate conservatively that in home health, 20% of those new caregivers would be eligible. And right now with our home health agencies, the average tax credit is around $450 per eligible caregiver. So if you wanted to put pen to paper and you wanted to determine what the upside of this program is for you and your agency, you can use this formula to determine the upside. But like I said, off to the right, the more new caregivers that are hired, the more credits that you will accumulate. So, the difference between us and some of our competitors that are publicly traded, I might add, we're focused on WOTC. This is what we do. And we have dedicated tax credit consultants. We call them client success managers, and Fram Abarrientos is one of our all-stars on the phone. Every one of our clients gets a dedicated CSM like Fram. So if you have any questions, if you have an issue with the integration or a caregiver, you reach out to one person. You know that person's name, you've got their email address, you've got their blood type, kidding, and then you also got their cell phone number. So we're not asking you to call into a 1-800 number or a call center. You've got a dedicated client success manager at your disposal. We do believe in tight integrations. The tight integrations lead us to the reduction of manual processes. And the more manual processes you have, the more errors you're prone to. So the tight integration does a lot for us. And we've got that with the CareSmartz360 team. We love when agency owners report back to us that they're managing their WOTC eligible labor pool, whether that's through the dashboards in CareSmartz360 or in our reports that we send you weekly. We love to hear feedback that, hey, I've got 10 people that are WOTC eligible. How many credits do you think I'm going to earn, Philip? That's great feedback. We're cost effective. I'm sure we'll get into our pricing in the Q&A. But to lead the witness just a little bit, it's 100% performance-based or contingent. Our fees never exceed 15%, so it's 15% of the credit that we capture on our client's behalf. But we'll get into some more nuances of our pricing as soon as we get to the Q&A. We believe in education-based WOTC programs. That's why we have the kickoff call, the discovery call, the progress calls. We're even in the process of now launching WOTC University, which is going to be a free online school for all of our clients. There's no cost to participating or attending classes in WOTC University. and it's going to go through all of our best practices, 25, 26 videos, all designed to make you a WOTC expert. So I think, Ruby, I'll stop talking, and I'm very excited at this opportunity, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm very much looking forward to some of these questions that come out of the Q&A session.
Thank you, Philip. I hope our audience or attendees, they got great insight about WOTC, and especially the integration between CareSmartz and WOTC, Rockerbox. So everyone, now that you have seen the full picture, we would love to hear from you. Please feel free to drop your question in the chat box if you haven't already. We are happy to address anything about eligibility, implementation, reporting, or maybe the integration itself. Whatever questions that you may have after this session, please feel free to put them in the chat box, and we will be monitoring the chat box for the next few minutes. We also have some resources on the next slide for you while we are waiting for some of the questions. So as we are wrapping up, we want to make sure that you leave with resources to continue exploring. And this slide deck will be shared with you. The session is also recorded. We will be sharing the recording, the slides, and everything that you need after this within the next few days. And for all of our clients who have joined, who are already using CareSmartz, please feel free to reach out to your support or success person, dedicated success person, to set up a discovery call with Rockerbox. Or for the agencies who have not yet signed up with CareSmartz, feel free to reach out to me or on our website for a demo, and we will show you how that works. We have everything available in those deck. The last and final slide has the contact information too. One of the questions that we have, what's the cost and is this contract based? I'm assuming they're asking for Rockerbox cost and activation.
Great question. Again, our fee structure is 100% performance-based. You'll never receive an invoice from Rockerbox unless we are successful in capturing credits on your behalf. We do invoice monthly. And as far as contract, no. We believe in a simple engagement letter. It's about 1.5 pages long. There's no effective date and there's no termination date. What it forces us to do is earn your business month over month. So there's no contracts to sign with Rockerbox. Try to make this as easy as possible. So there's no retainer, there's no setup costs, there's no financial risk whatsoever. If you are interested in moving forward with Rockerbox, please reach out, as Ruby said, to your support or success person within CareSmartz360. They will get in contact with us. We'll set up a discovery call. We'll give you the full spiel on what we do and how we do it. And then if you want to move forward, we'll send you the engagement letter and some other documents to sign. And then once those are returned, we're literally off to the races. We're turning it on in CareSmartz360, and you're ready to screen caregivers, probably within a week. Pretty simple.
Yeah, the follow-up is, what if there is no hiring in a month? Does billing continue?
Billing will continue, but if you don't have hiring in a given month, obviously we won't screen and we won't have a chance to certify folks. So you wouldn't receive an invoice from us if we were not able to capture credits for you in a given month. So there's no subscription fees. There's no nothing.
Another question in Q&A box, one of the questions Jennifer asked, What does this cost for an owner, and do we need to work with CareSmartz to work with Rockerbox? Jennifer, the straight answer to this is today we are discussing the integration between CareSmartz and Rockerbox. So this is if you are with CareSmartz, then you can leverage all of this. You can answer those screening questions, Rockerbox questions within CareSmartz, so you don't need to work outside of CareSmartz. I am not in a position to answer the question about integration with other systems today. Maybe Philip, if you want to take it offline.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, there's one more question from Stephen, Philip. They're saying we're an active duty couple who are in the home care business. We do tend to offer jobs to military spouses. I know vets get a credit, but do spouses qualify?
Such a great question. Today they don't. Today they do not. And I wish they did, Stephen. We helped Lloyd Smucker. He is a congressman out of the state of Pennsylvania, and we have help him and his staff write one of the bills that is out there today to try to extend WOTC permanently. And in that bill, we are asking Congress to consider adding a 10th target group associated with active duty spouses. So today, to answer your question directly, no. But if our bill gets passed, I would say there's a high probability of active duty spouses being eligible for the credit. Great question.
All right. If there are any more questions, please feel free to drop your question in Q&A or chat box. We are happy to answer. We do have a couple more minutes. All right. While we are waiting for those questions to come in, I want to say it again for our existing CareSmartz clients, please reach out to CareSmartz support or customer success for a discovery call with Rockerbox. For agencies who have joined us today and you're looking for CareSmartz and Rockerbox both, please reach out to our sales team. You can reach out to me directly, or you can just send an email to sales, or just visit our website and fill a form. We will get back to you with a demo time.
And guys, we're happy to go through I know this is a lot of information. A lot of it is going to be elaborated on during the discovery call if you're interested in moving forward, or at least having an opportunity to talk with us. Jeanne and Fram, I'll pick on you during the Q&A. Anything that I missed or you guys want to elaborate on today? You guys might be on mute.
Yeah, sorry. I don't have anything to add at this time. I think you did an excellent job as far as covering the basis and payroll and all the nuances that we have for this webinar. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Jeanne is instrumental in our technology and integrations, guys, and she does a lot of the payroll processing for WOTC. And then Fram is one of our all-star client success managers. Fram, I forgot the anniversary that you're approaching. Is it 3 or 4 years? I'm so sorry for missing that.
My 3rd year, Philip, upcoming.
Okay. So Fram's got a lot of experience, guys. She literally helps hundreds of clients every month. You're in great hands, and we've designated her and her team towards the CareSmartz360 client base. So the reason Fram is we wanted to introduce her. If you're interested in moving forward, learning more through a discovery call, Fram and I would be on those calls, and looking forward to meeting you guys one-on-one a little later down the road.
Philip, Stephen has a follow-up.
Yeah.
He's asking if the hours for the percentages, is that over a fiscal time frame?
Great question again, Stephen. I'm going to answer this, and I hope I understand the question. So yes, let's say John starts with you on March 1st. John has 1 calendar year from the time in which he started, so March 1st, to maximize credits. So John can have 5 or 6 starts and stops during a calendar year, but he will stop accruing credits for you on that first anniversary date from his start date, if that makes sense. So he's got 1 calendar year to maximize credits once he starts.
I hope that answers. All right, at the end of the session now, at the end of our hour, thank you again for joining us today, everyone. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to helping your agency thrive through CareSmartz and Rockerbox together. Thank you so much.
Ruby, thank you so much. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Fram.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
Ruby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rockerbox
Have a great
team.
day.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.